top of the hill mud. Alright, this is Gary's bike covered in mud. What hill are we on?
Mud part 3.
Mud part 3. That'll do.
Well, we had lots of time on rest day, and Mawson Man had quite an adventure going up to the summit. He was very excited, and by the time we got to the monument, he was so excited he abseiled up the flagpole, and that was really only the beginning. And we went on. He did a bit of track maintenance, and he was looking at the wildlife and the plants. He was particularly interested in bush tucker, and he was searching all the native cherries, trying to find some native cherries, but he found they were out of season. He thought about some acacia gum. We found a little bit of that for him. But he did end up with some curry bush, which he's hoping Wilkins woman might be able to use, perhaps. But otherwise, that was the best bush anyhow. So a bit further up on the rock slopes, he was prepared for some rock surfing. So yes, he tried rock surfing down the scree slopes, but he found it wasn't really ideal because he can't bend his knees, so it was a bit rough and hard. And also, he finally realised that really rock surfing you need the right protective gear, and so it's just a bit dangerous. So he gave that up as a bad employment. Anyhow, but he did decide to keep this one ski out of the several we tried, just in case we did get some more heavy rain and he needed to raft across some water somewhere. So he thought he'd hang on to this. And then finally we did make it up to the summit, and he was hoping that he could take a shortcut on the way down by air. So he climbed the trig point and held out his wind vane just to test the conditions, but there was no wind. Takeoff was not possible at all in any way. So he became very depressed, because if you consider the scaling factors, he's not even a foot high. So the scaling factors there on the trail that's not designed for someone that height, with big rocks this height. You do the scaling factors, a 5-hour walk for him is more like 50 hours. Anyhow, so he got a bit depressed and sulked in the back of my backpack for most of the way down. But he got so used to the backpack, he stayed in there all day today, in the backpack on my back, and the green flag was very useful, waving at everyone as they overtook us. Well, there was a few possibilities. I believe someone that was breaking bikes was one possibility, and also Mark. I heard some stories about a young lad called Mark who showed quite a lot of gallantry. He was another contender, but as I was one of the last people leaving Melrose, and someone was already coming back, and they had had a spectacular accident with their front tyre, which was probably worthy of Mawson's award anyway. But also, since that, I heard several stories of quite considerable gallantry on the road by the same person, and also you noticed someone taking a wrong turn and managed to get them followed up very quickly. So I think Ed.
Excellent, well done. Thank you very much, John. And Ed, so it sounds like you had a very active day.
Yes, I think I probably hold the record for having a crash within 1 kilometre of the start. I was riding along and there was a loud explosion and the front tyre blew off my bicycle. And I remember yesterday we had some good lessons from Ian, and he said momentum's your friend and momentum is always good. And in this case, my bicycle stopped and the tube the tyre blew off, the tube wrapped around the front wheel and the front wheel stopped instantly and I kept going. So I was thinking about whether momentum was a good friend or not, and hit the road and bounced a couple of times and got up.